Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the Kickstarters that I anticipate receiving in 2021. Some of them I ordered in 2019, some I ordered in 2020, but I'm going to rank them down in order of my excitement level. Now, obviously, I'm excited about all of them because I've already paid for them ahead of time. I've already been drawn in by them enough that I've been willing to invest in them. So there's really no bad ones according to me in this list, but I tried to rank them in terms of my level of excitement. And I have to admit, for some of them, the level of excitement has dwindled a bit because it's been so long since I invested, but for others, it's remained high. And for all of them, I'm very excited, especially because there are a few that I know should be coming even in the next few weeks. But let's jump in and see what are the Kickstarters I'm waiting on in 2021. All right, so here you can see the different projects that I've backed. A quick scroll through. You're obviously willing to, or you're able to pause and look if you're very curious at the things I've backed. I'm not sure really why you might be, but you can see a lot of the different things that I've backed on Kickstarter here. And the first thing I'll mention is not really a game, but just one that I want to kind of give a honorable mention to, and that's the Wanderer's Guide. 50 pages of maps, NPCs, and plot hooks. I've not really been that into RPGs. I haven't done any role-playing games exactly, but I'm starting to sort of branch out into Legends of Dragonholt and some of the some of the Sherlock Holmes games where it's not really role-playing, but where I'm kind of acting almost as the dungeon master or the game leader guiding the group through it. And so I've been more and more intrigued. And so the art in this just looked so incredible by Andrew Bosley. And as I looked down through what was available, just the token packs, I'm also working on developing some of my own games. And so I thought having some of the art for inspiration, having some of the tokens and things that would come with the level that I picked, just the basic guide. And then of course, just enjoying the art is why I backed this one. So honorable mention, The Wanderer's Guide. And then number 17 in my list, Successors. Now, Successors is by Phalanx Games, and it's a historical game where you are playing members of history. It's by Richard H. Berg and Mark Simonek. Simonek. sorry, Mark. Not sure how to say your name there, but where you're playing these sort of recreations of historical battles. And so I'm very excited to this one. I know they've had some trouble because of COVID putting it all together, but this one is one that has, dudes on a map sort of feel to it or look to it, but historical in nature, where you're recreating some of those battles and the tense interplay of the interactions in the war. Part of the reason it's a little bit lower is I have been waiting for a long time, so it's waned a little bit, to be honest. Even remembering some of the things that really drew me in originally are a little hazy because it's been a while. I don't blame them at all. I understand where they're coming from and why. And then another part is that it's not soloable, and I don't know how many people I'm going to be able to play with and who will be interested in this kind of a game. But the miniatures and the history and the art and the game style just look really incredible. Very excited about it, but that's the only reason it's dropped to the bottom of my list. Not one that I can say I'm disappointed that I ordered it. I'm still very excited to receive it, but just for those couple of reasons, it slid to the bottom of the list, but still definitely one I'm glad I invested in. Next on the list, number 16, is Madeira, and this is the collector's edition big box with all the expansions. This is by What's Your Game? And this collector's edition, I've actually never played the original game, but I know it's a classic game that a lot of people really love. It's got some worker placement actions in it. And again, this is one that it looks like it's going to be quite a while before this one gets to us. They've had a number of issues, both because of COVID and even other issues that have come up. And fully understandable. They've been really good at communicating why they're having the issues. But part of the reason it slid down the list is, again, because it has been a long wait, and it still looks like it's going to be a long wait. But the art looks beautiful. The resource management and Euro style work of the game looks great. I'm a little concerned it may be also a bit on the heavy side for me and my family and the games we tend to enjoy. but for such a classic game and the chance to get a collector's edition, I was really excited, plus all the expansions being thrown in. So this is number 16, Madeira. Very excited to get this one, although I think it may still be quite a while before it makes it to our house. So that's number 16. Number 15 is the Steffenfeld City Collection, the first two games in the series, Hamburg and Amsterdam. And I'm very excited about these two games. And I haven't played much Steffenfeld. So I thought, you know, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to invest in this package of games and get the set of 4. So I've just purchased the first 2 that'll be coming out this year, but I've also purchased the ones that will be coming out later. So Hamburg and Amsterdam will be coming out this year, and then the other 2, New York and Marrakesh, are the ones that will be coming out later. But I loved how much detail went into this, recreating some classic games of Bruges and Macau, and then really upgrading them with acrylic and painted meeples and colored coins and the box sleeves. And I just thought, you know, it's something that is not only a game that I really hope I will enjoy and love, but a work of art and a collection. And to be honest, as much as I love playing games and played over 500 games in 2020, 500 game plays, over 153 different games in 2020. I am in a bit of a collector, so that's part of it that drew me in. It's a little bit lower on the list because while I love the idea of the games and I have enjoyed the couple of Steffenfeld games I played, I haven't played very many of his games. And so I'm excited to jump in, but this was a pretty big investment to jump in at. So, but yeah, I look forward to getting these. But because I don't know as much about how these games are going to work out, having never played Bruges, having never played Macau, that's why it's a little bit lower. But still, very, very excited for the Steffenfeld City Collection. Next on the list, we're down to, that's number 15 and 14, I guess, if you consider it 2 separate games. This would be number 13, and that is Roll Camera, the filmmaking board game by Malachi Ray Rempen. And this game is one that when I first saw it, I thought of my brother, Matt. He has made a number of short films and teaches different kinds of film and drama classes at Huntington University. And I thought, boy, this would be really fun to play with him. And in this game, you're building out a film, you're making the film, and you're trying to overcome the obstacles and challenges that you face. You've got to work together as a team, you got to solve the puzzles, and the art is very cartoonish bean characters. But I also thought it was hilarious. You can try to shoot like the best blockbuster game of all time, or you can end up making a Rotten Tomato video that's just terrible, but so terrible that it's amazing. And just, you can actually win both ways. And so this one looks really cool. And the box is like a clapper, which is pretty cool. I just got an email today showing us the clapper box in action. That's really cool as well. It's going to come with a game tray inside that holds everything so that it can be stored that way, and you can easily slide the components out. So really cool game, really unique idea. And so this one comes in at number 13, Roll Camera. Number 12 is Kemet Blood and Sand, and this one's just a little bit lower, this game by Matago, because I already have Kemet. I don't have any of the expansions though, so I'm excited about that, and I love Kemet, but I've heard mixed reviews on whether this makes it better or worse. I think it will be better. I'm excited for it. I do love Kemet. Another reason it's a little bit lower on the list is because I'm one of the few people in my family that likes this game of Kemet, and so I know it's probably going to have a harder time getting to the table than some of the other ones, but I love the game so much myself that it still crept up this high to number 12. And I'm excited about the new things that it brings with the expansions, and with the green pyramid and the green characters added to the red and the white and the blue. And the miniatures look great. Very excited to receive this game as well. Like I said, my only real concern is the few people that have said they don't think it's going to live up or they don't think it's going to be as good. I doubt that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be better. It's a little bit bigger board side with also the play mat, and you've got the green pyramids, like I said. So very excited about this one, number 12 in the games that I've ordered and hoping to receive this year. Number 11 is Ascension Tactics. And I actually didn't back this game originally, it just came at a bad time. I do like the Ascension deck building games, but have played very few of them and only digitally. But the more I watched it, the more I fell in love with the idea of this tactics game. And so eventually I did do a late pledge for this. So this comes in at number 11. And I was able to add on a couple of the Ascension games in the order through the pledge manager. But I like the idea. I like the deck building of Ascension. I like the way you have a constantly changing river of cards. And that was unique to me when I first played it. And so I like that. It's just a different kind of deck builder. I like the fantasy theme. And I like the idea of having that field where you are going at each other in a tactical manner. And like I said, I picked up a couple of I picked up the anniversary edition and a couple other things to add to. I didn't go for the whole everything all in idea, but I did add on a couple things. So I added in the 10th anniversary box. And then I also added in, let's see, it's down here somewhere. Maybe it's not on here. Maybe it was only in the pledge manager. But yeah, so I really am looking forward to this one and growing more in my ability to play Ascension deck builder style games with the couple of add-ons that I put into the order, as well as this new tactical board game. So very excited about this one. That's number 11. And now we break into the top 10. Number 10, Yedo Deluxe Master Set reprint. Never have played the original game, but have heard from so many people that I respect how much they love this game. And this is another one of those where just getting the Deluxe Master Set, getting all the bells and whistles, getting the expansion, getting the reprinted rules. All the people that I've heard about talking about this game have said that the reprint and the adjustment to the rules and the gameplay have really made it even better than it already was. Plus David Turtsey here doing the solo mode. Again, that's a big seller for me if I'm able to play it solo, because I play far more games than anyone else in our family. And so if I can't play it solo, it's a little bit less attractive to me. I don't prefer solo gaming, but I would prefer to play a game solo than not be able to play the game at all. And so when it can be played solo, it really excites me. The art on this one just looks really great. The improved art, if you compare from before and after in some of the videos I've watched, looks really cool. We've got the wooden components, and then, yeah, just it looks like a great way to step into this classic game, Yedo, with the deluxe edition. So that is my number 10. And on to number 9. Number 9 is Cascadia, and Cascadia is by Flat Out Games, and they have been really killing it with Calico, but this one actually looks more appealing to me with the tile laying. I'm going to have to try Calico at some point. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit like Azul was for me, that I kept putting it off and wasn't really sure that I was that excited about it. And then when I played it, I really enjoyed it, and I think Calico may be that way. But Cascadia actually attracted me right away with the beauty of the art and the game's theme of creating a habitat, creating an ecosystem, and trying to group together the tiles in such a way that you can sort of economize the growth of your habitats and ecosystems. So this one appealed to me a little bit more. I like tile laying games, and I loved the art in this one. I've been tempted to, I have the print and play now, and I've been tempted to try to print it and do that, but there's so many other games on my shelf that I'm trying to play. I think I'm going to hold off until this one actually comes, but this one intrigues me so much. Like I said, it's in my top 10, and so I'm tempted. I don't know, I might eventually end up doing the print and play just so that I can play it sooner than waiting, but really gorgeous. I think it's really interesting the way the strategies will develop as you look at the cards that come out and look at the tiles that come out, and just, yeah, very highly regarded by all those that have played it already. So very excited for Cascadia. And we move on to number 8, which is Rurik Stone and Blade. Now, Rurik is a great game. It's so unique in the way that you have to sort of bid and collect your actions or select your actions. And I'm just excited to get the Stone and Blade expansion to make it even better. I did fast Grand Prince the order so I could get Rurik ahead of time, because I didn't actually have Rurik originally. But I heard so many people say it's one of their favorite games of all time. Again, it's one you can solo. Peacekeeper games, I think the quality of the art and the uniqueness of their game styles, from what I've seen, has just really been impressive. So I was interested in this auction programming game, and I thought the theme of just this historical Eastern European kingdoms was pretty cool. So Rurik is fun, and I'm excited to see how this Stone and Blade expansion is going to make it an even greater game and have even more replayability. Almost put this one into my 9x9 challenge for the year, but I wasn't sure enough of the rest of the family would enjoy it. So then I thought about putting it in my 5x5, but I don't know for sure when we're going to get this expansion. So maybe I'll put it in my 5x5 solo for the next year. We'll see. But this one looks really great. Number 8, Rurik Stone and Blade expansion. Number 7 is After the Empire by Gray Fox Games. And Gray Fox Games always look incredible to me, but I've played none of them. But this one just a tower defense game, and the way the board built up as you're actually building up your empire, you're building up these walls and defending the tower, just really caught my attention, the 3D nature of it. And so I jumped in with this one, and also then ordered some of their other games. Reavers of the Midgard and Champions of the Midgard I ordered to receive with it when this one comes. So it's going to be a big box of games when I get it. But this one, I've never played a true tower defense game, and I haven't really played any games where it had this sort of 3D nature to the board where you're actually adding the pieces and building up the wall. The game tray components look pretty cool in the way it stores it. And more, that's been important to me. The way you store the game, how quickly you can get it in and out of the box. One of the things I love about Rurik is once you get it all packed away, you just pull it out pretty easily and you can get going and playing the game quickly instead of having to empty a ton of baggies. So I'm excited about this one having those game trays as well. I think that organization is just an extra step that really is a neat feature. So this one is one that, like I said, haven't played Gray Fox games before, but have several of them on the way because of this order, and looking forward to trying this one out. So this is number 7, After the Empire. Number 6 is Chai and Chai High Tea, and then also the Tea for 2 expansion. So I hadn't ordered or played Chai, and this Chai Tea expansion, High Tea expansion, looks pretty cool. And as I heard about this game and saw the way it worked, the unique theme of the game first caught my attention. My wife loves chai tea, so I thought, oh, maybe this would be a game my wife would really love. And the quality of the game by Steeped Games here, really incredible. And then this couple, Dan and Connie, they are so... they just seem so authentic and so unique and such a cool couple. Love to meet them sometime, but just listening to them talk about their games and their philosophy really drew me in. And then seeing the beauty of the game, looking at how you would slide the tiles around and have to predict how the tiles are going to move in the market. And yeah, it just really intrigued me. And then adding the high tea expansion, getting the original game and adding the high tea expansion was just an opportunity that I didn't want to pass up. So this one looks really exciting. It isn't one that you can solo, I don't think, unless maybe it is actually. Now that I think back, I think actually you can solo this one, but I don't think I probably will most of the time on this one. I think this one will be one my wife and I will enjoy. The art is just gorgeous. And like I said, the way the tiles slide and move around as you pull them out of the market, the nature of those acrylic tiles, I don't know, for some reason Azul never really drew me in until I played it, then I really enjoyed it. But this one just immediately, something about the art difference or maybe the theme difference. Maybe the theme is more immersive here, and I tend to really enjoy theme. But that one makes this chai tea game and the high tea expansion my number 6. Number 5 is Cartographers Heroes with the 3 map pack expansions. I love Cartographers Heroes, and I love Role Player, and I have the Monsters and Minions expansion and love that with Role Player. So I love this universe of characters, and this standalone new game is another way to play Cartographers with Heroes. But it's not just a standalone game with map expansions. You can also integrate it with your existing Cartographers. And Cartographers is one that I have on my 5x5 solo. I love playing it, and I'm sure I'll play it way more than 5 times this year. But having a chance to mix it in with the Heroes game and combine the two features And just with the new types of maps and the new different twists on gameplay, this was a really easy one for me to jump into. And then you could get this double box where everything, this collector's edition box where everything would fit together. So very much looking forward to this one. It's just one of those relaxing games to me where I love using colored pencils and just coloring in the map as I go. Figuring out the Tetris-y shapes and how they fit, just really that appeals to me. And like I said, it's like a calming, relaxing experience for me when I play these games. And so I was very excited for this one. And it's number 5 in my most anticipated Kickstarters that I expect to receive in 2021. Number 4, Time of Legends Destinies, and I think it's kind of being rebranded as just Destinies because of some Time of Legends drama that happened with the Joan of Arc campaign. But Lucky Duck Games has some great games, and this one just really appealed to me. This was one of the first ones that I heard about when it first came out, having that app integration to tell the story. And since then, I've played several games, Forgotten Waters, Chronicles of Crime, that have app integration, and I really enjoy it. I think it brings the story to life, and so I'm very excited about this one. Another one that caught my attention for this one is the price with all the different expansions especially was really good. There's a lot of expansions just coming out with this one. It's another, with the Kickstarter, it's another one that you can play solo. It's story driven, so I love that. It's got the QR codes, kind of like the Chronicles of Crime game, which we really enjoy. So yeah, this one right away, even before I'd played Chronicles of Crime and knew how that worked, right away the idea of using the app, all the expansions, it was supposed to integrate with Joan of Arc, and I don't know if that's still the case because of the different things that happened, but I think the art looks beautiful. The story-driven nature of it looks great. The components look really incredible. The storylines, as I've been following the campaign and they talk about the different expansions and the storylines, and it was really cool too because they involved the backers. So you could vote on which of the storylines you thought they should pursue, what settings they should pursue for some of the expansions. So it was really cool to be a part of that and putting in our votes and kind of feeling like we were engaged in the development of these expansions. So this fantastical world of discovering your destinies really spoke to me, and I'm excited about that, and that's why it's my number 4 game. Number 3, Role Player Adventures, and I didn't actually back this originally. It also is one of those that kind of came at a bad time for me. Just financially, it wasn't a great time to know for sure whether I could kind of put out the kind of money, but since then I was able to go into the late pledge backer and back it. I was really excited to be able to do that eventually because I do love Cartographers. I do love Role Player. And just having this opportunity to play a game that has a cooperative nature to it as well, and having adventures with the storybooks, potentially even using the characters that we create in the role player game. It was just really an easy decision for me to be excited about this game. Like I said, at the time it came out, I couldn't back it originally, but I've been excited that I could go in and late pledge it. I love the way you choose the dice, select the dice, manipulate the dice to create the players in role player, and now excited to be able to use that in a little bit different way, more of a role player type of game, a role playing type of game, and working through an adventure, battling bosses, and so very excited. The art is always great. This game really appeals to me. So very excited about Role Player Adventures. It is my number 3 game from Thunderworks Games, and I'm not sure how Keith pronounces his last name. Keith Mateka? Not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry, Keith. But so excited about your game, and Thunderworks in general just produces great stuff. And now on to my top 2, which you can get a sneak peek here at the top. But number 2 is Sleeping Gods. And if you've followed very many of my videos, you've probably heard me talk about Sleeping Gods, and you've probably heard me talk about Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games. I love Red Raven Games. I love Ryan Lockett's art. This was an insta-back, the story-driven adventure, the cooperative adventure, ability to play it solo. The art is gorgeous. The map is a book that you flip through. So if you've played more recently than this, the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, where the maps are in a book, it's more like that, which I love. Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. And so I'm very excited. I did do the print and play for this one, and I've experimented around with that just a little bit. I think it was called Perils or something like that he sent out to the backers, and really loved it. And also just loved the opportunity, because I was a backer, that he allowed us to jump in and try Now or Never, which is in the world with Above and Below and Near and Far, not the same world as Sleeping Gods, but was really fun to have that opportunity too. Ryan Lockett has been very interactive and seems to really engage with the community well also. So this one, just with the expansion, the Tides of Ruin expansion included, more maps, more stories, very excited about this, even a soundtrack. So can't wait to get this one. And this one actually should be coming in the next few weeks. Got my notice about confirming my my mailing address in my email just recently. And this is getting a lot of buzz from a lot of people, and I think deservedly so. Can't wait to try it out, hopefully early on this year. I did put this one in our 9x9 for the family, even though we don't have it quite yet. I just know that this is one that we're going to want to play at least 9 times in 2021. So that's our part of our 9x9 challenge. Sleeping Gods by Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games. And my number one most anticipated Kickstarter, the one I'm so excited about, even more than Sleeping Gods, if you can believe it, which it's a very close race. It was hard to choose between the two because they're both so exciting to me, but I chose Isofarian Guard as a slight edge. Isofarian Guard is one that I did actually back, and in its original state. I have been following closely all their emails, listening to all the tracks that they put out. This one really intrigued me with using the Foreteller, and I've been using the Foreteller app with Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion and listening to the clips they've been putting out for the Isofarian Guard. But Isofarian Guard is one where you are playing one of the Isofarian Guard, either solo or cooperative, and you are trying to uncover the mystery behind the stone-bound the stone-bound system that's happening here. There's these stones that have these powers, and your world is in chaos, and you've had all these traumatic events happen, and now you're trying to immerse yourself in this world to figure out what's going on, and hopefully save the day. So very excited about this one. The art looks incredible. The adventure and the fantasy behind it looks incredible. Sort of the role-playing feel nature to it in terms of that role-player type of developing your skills, developing your character skills, going on adventures, following the maps, but actually having the maps there, and then having the Foreteller soundtrack behind, just acting out the story. And then it's got these incredible chips. It kind of reminds me of the chip theory games, and also the game trays, like I've mentioned before. I love that organization when they have that. So these nice chips that you use to draw out of your bag to discover, how well you can do in different explorations or different battles. So this one just really exciting for me. We could keep going on and on down the page. It goes for a long time. But so excited of this Isofarian Guard by Sky Kingdom Games. It is my number one most anticipated game that I hope to receive in 2021. So there you have it. Those are the 17 games that I have backed through Kickstarter that I anticipate getting this year. I thought I would have a number of them before, but yeah, the whole pandemic situation put a lot of things on hold for a while and slowed a lot of things down. And so I'm just glad that eventually I'll have some of these games to play, and some of them pretty soon. So hopefully you've enjoyed listening about what my thoughts are on some of these games and what these games are about. Maybe you backed some of them as well. If you've enjoyed the video, you found it entertaining or helpful, I'd love it if you'd click on that like button down below. And if you'd subscribe to the channel, that would be wonderful. If you have comments about any of the games or questions for me about why I backed them, or if you want to just talk about the games you backed, or maybe why you backed some of the same ones, I'd love to hear your comments down below. If you want to get notifications of my other videos, click on that bell icon. If you want to see what my top 21 games anticipated, 2021 games that I anticipate that I haven't backed yet, I also have that video you can watch, and I'll link that here in this video. So as always, thanks for watching. This is Billy Indiana signing off.